Later this year, players can expect more big updates for both games. Blah 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 blah. And the biggest ever update for GTA Online, featuring our latest take on heists in an entirely new location. So this is the beginning of a two-part series we're going to cover tomorrow, why I think Liberty City won't be returning in GTA Online. But for now, let's talk about the return of Niko Bellic in GTA Online. So, because of that quote and post on the Rockstar Newswire from Rockstar Games, it's led fans to speculate 3 different locations, either North Yankton, Liberty City, or the Mile High Club. For this video, we're just going to pretend that Liberty City is the location because there are bits and pieces of leaks floating around that lead fans to think this might be. But tomorrow, we're going to talk about why it's probably not. So, without getting into all of the details as to why I don't think it'll be Liberty City, in the event that it is the entirely new location, what is the probability of Niko Bellic returning? Because it wouldn't be Liberty City without Niko Bellic, right? Well, not the Liberty City from GTA 3, but the Liberty City that we know from Grand Theft Auto 4.
There was an Eastern European guy making moves in Liberty City, but he went quiet.
Michael Hollick versus Rockstar Games. To get a better understanding of this, we've got to start from the beginning. So, on May 21st, 2008, headlines broke that Michael Hollick, the voice of Niko Bellic, who did you know is actually an American guy from New York?
I think I clipped a pillar in a parking garage once.
Was publicly speaking out against Rockstar Games due to the fact that he was only paid roughly $100,000 over the span of 15 months for his work on Grand Theft Auto 4, with no residuals or royalties, meaning that $100,000 was all he got from a game that made over $310 million in its first day. Yeah, you would be mad too. Oh yeah, I know there's also some little kid with no concept of money watching this video right now saying,
"That cock, he should be grateful that he made over $100,000 for just voicing a game."
First off, kid, it's more than just recording lines and that's it. See this book right there? That is every line of dialogue in Grand Theft Auto 4. Also, $100,000 divided by 15 is around $6,666,667 a month. Illuminati confirmed. Also, out of that $100,000, about $25,000 of that is instantly gone because it goes straight to taxes. That leaves you with $75,000. Well, Michael Hollick is from New York City. So, being that he's from there, if he lives there, the average cost of living in New York City is way more than $75,000 if you want to live a comfortable lifestyle. So, $100,000 on a game that made $310 million in its first day is absolutely nothing at all. While all this may be the case, this whole mess, though, was just a bad business decision on Michael Hollick's part, as you have to read those fine lines in these contracts that you sign, or you can get royally screwed. In April 2020, a Reddit user by the name of Marco the Mexicam, not Mexican, made a post detailing 6 points from a July 2020 GTA Online update that would be delayed until August, which actually came true, and a few other things. Well, after Rockstar confirmed the summer special update on July 24th, 4 months after Marco made his post, we found out that this post was actually real. This user then emerged again, stating that in December, the new location that Rockstar talked about on the Newswire will be Liberty City, and that Niko Bellic will be returning alongside his cousin Roman, who we haven't seen since Grand Theft Auto 4. Again, this begs the question, what is the probability of Niko Bellic returning? Well, as we know, there are tons of Easter eggs referencing Niko Bellic scattered all around Grand Theft Auto 5. He even has a partial character model in the game that is presumably used for his ability to be used as a parent model in GTA Online. But that's it. Even after his falling out with Rockstar Games in 2008, Rockstar just reused his dialogue for his role in The Lost and Damned in The Ballad of Gay Tony. There were no new lines. So, that leaves really only 3 options for how Rockstar could go about bringing back Niko Bellic. Number 1, reach out to Michael Hollick and make a peace offering, and then have Niko return alongside his voice. Option number 2, have Niko return during a brief cameo, but with no voice, like in the intro to The Lost and Damned, where Niko's walking down the street. Or say he got into some sort of accident and he talks with a robot Stephen Hawking voice now.
Screw you, Rockstar Games.
And number 3, just have someone else voice Niko. Now, I know what you're already thinking. That last one is out of this world. There's no way this would ever happen. Well, I'm sure there are some people out there with a killer Niko Bellic voice impression. Here's also another impression of Niko from Troy Baker, the voice of Joel Miller in The Last of Us, the voice of Sam from Uncharted, and many more voices in popular games and movies.
Let's give it a whirl, man. Why not? When the war came, I did bad things, and after the war, I thought nothing of bad things. I killed people, smuggled people, sold people. Push me, yellow car! That's what I mean, I don't want to say it was spot on Niko Bellic, but it was pretty close. Do you want to know another impression of Niko Bellic? This is Niko Bellic now acting in games. Ta-da!
That last one was pretty good if you ask me. Now, I know what you may be thinking again. Rockstar would never let anyone else voice Niko Bellic. They wouldn't sound like him. And, well, he's a protagonist, so they wouldn't ruin the fans' image of Niko Bellic. While there are people out there who can probably do a spot-on impression of Niko, I think just knowing that it's not the real Niko voicing him, it just wouldn't have that same effect. But that said, there are 2 occasions in which Rockstar have had different voices for protagonists. Keyword, protagonists, not random characters. There's a bunch of those with different voices. The first of which is Vic Vance, the protagonist of Vice City Stories, voiced by Armando Risco in the intro to Vice City. He is then voiced by Dorian Missick in his role as the protagonist of Vice City Stories. And well, they sound nothing alike.
Are you Louise? I'm a friend of Phil's. Friend of Phil's?
Got it? 100% pure grade A Colombian, my friend.
Let me see it.
The greens?
10s and 20s. Used.
We also have Toni Cipriani, voiced by Michael Madsen in his cameo in Grand Theft Auto 3. He is then voiced by Danny Mastro Giorgio in Liberty City Stories, in his role as the protagonist of that game. And, just like Vic Vance, these guys sound nothing alike. With that said, I don't think that no one can really voice Niko like Michael Hollick can, but if Niko were going to make a short cameo like Vic Vance or Toni Cipriani did in their games outside of the ones that they're the protagonist in, I do think having a similar but different actor voice Niko wouldn't be such a bad thing. But then again, the difference between Niko and Toni and Vic is that Niko is the voice of a game that is way more popular than those two. Niko is also up there on the list for the best protagonist, not only in Grand Theft Auto, but in video game history. So, really, only time will tell if this holds true and if we will hear a familiar voice again after so many years. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Would you like to see Niko Bellic return? If so, give the video a thumbs up, and also please subscribe.